All right, what's going on, y'all? We about to rank the top 30 point guards in the NBA for the 2025-2026 NBA season. Let's get right into it. All right, let's do this. So I didn't make this tier list, and there are a lot of different players on here, as you can see. So hopefully nobody's missing from this. If they are, it's not my fault. So let's get right started. All right. So they got these people in a wild order right now, and I got 1 through 30 here, and then honorable mentions. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with the most obvious people, and I know these say 1 to 5, 6 to 10, etc., etc. We're not gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna put these groups up here, like roughly, and then at the end I'm gonna put them in the correct order. All right. So in the top 5, the first couple should be very easy. I'm gonna put Luka Doncic up here. Is he one? I don't know yet. We're gonna see at the end. All right, but I'm gonna put Luka there to start. I'm gonna put SGA there to start. Okay. Now after these two, this is where you have to start to put our thinking caps on a little bit, because now the question is, are we putting? I'm gonna put the people I'm thinking about right now into the second tier, and then I shall change it up a little bit later. Let's see who's gonna make it into this top 5 right now. All right, next up, let's see. Is there anybody else that I should consider for the top 5 right now? I'm trying to think. We got Ja Morant over here. I'll put Ja up here for right now. And then, besides that, I don't know if there's anybody else I should be considering for the top 5 per se, but there's a lot of people that are definitely going to be considered for that next tier just below. So let's see here. Out of these 6 that we got right here, I feel like the odd man out for last season might be Ja Morant. Okay. So let's put Brunson up here. Let's put Curry up here. I feel pretty good about this top 4. The 5th person here would definitely be Tyrese Halliburton, I think. So I think I could just put him up there now. I'll just put Tyrese Halliburton up there now. I think that's my top 5 right there. And then the question really is Ja and Cade, and who else is going to be in this tier right here? So people that I could consider right here, James Harden. He had a really great season last year. Obviously, no one really thought that he was going to be amazing coming off that season with the 76ers, but he really held things down for the Clippers. De'Aaron Fox, who amazing player on the Kings and the Spurs. It'll be interesting to see him with a full season with the Spurs, even though now he's gonna kind of got to share those backcourt duties with not just like a Chris Paul and the other young players that were already on the team like Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, but now also Dylan Harper, who's coming in here, who's on this list, but he's not going to come up until later. So let me see, who else should I consider here? There's obviously Damian Lillard. When he was not injured, he was playing pretty good, better than he was in the first year that he was with the Bucks. Kyrie Irving is another person that I should be considering right now. And let's see here. Is there anybody else that is it the same caliber, that's around the same caliber of player as these guys? I would say Darius Garland and Jamal Murray. Okay. All right. And Tyrese Maxey, but I'm not sure if he's quite at the same level as the rest of these guys here. We're getting Trae Young as well. Trae Young should definitely be up here. So let's see here. Out of these guys, who would I put up here with Cade and Ja Morant? So I'm thinking Trae Young has to be up here. Yeah. And now it gets a little tricky. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm thinking about between these 3 guys right here. I think Kyrie Irving could be up here. He was on a massive tear before he tore his ACL. I believe he tore his ACL. He was on a tear last year when it was just him and Luka had gotten traded to the Lakers. So I'm gonna put him right there. Now the next question is for this last spot here, I would say Harden, De'Aaron Fox, Darius Garland are probably the main 3 that I'm considering, with Dame, Tyrese Maxey, and Jamal Murray being next up probably. So let's see here. Should it be Darius Garland? I feel like Darius Garland didn't do what he needed to do in the playoffs, but he was also injured. I don't know. I need to see more from Darius Garland to put him up there. James Harden. Ah, James Harden. I don't know, bro. Yeah, you never know what you're gonna get from him when it comes playoff time. And I think I'm gonna put De'Aaron Fox here with the last spot. And again, I'll come back and do the order. Now my next tier is pretty much made by itself already. So that's pretty easy for that. Because now I gotta go to the next tier, which I am considering the Josh Giddies of the world. Damn, it's pretty much everybody else. It's pretty much everybody else. None of these players that I see right now are so crazily better than anybody else. Oh, LaMelo. Yes, LaMelo should definitely be up here. It's arguable that LaMelo could be up in this tier up here. But again, this isn't really a tiers. It's more like rankings. If you think that I should do tiers for these instead of rankings, then, let me know in the comment down below. And maybe at the midway point of the season, I'll do that. Okay, let's see here. Well, should be considered for this area right here. We get into some mid players here, y'all. I can't hold you. DeJounte Murray, when he's healthy, he should definitely be around here. And everybody else that we got here, we could consider a Drew Holiday. We could consider... Who we considering, y'all? Who we considering? We consider an Emmanuel Quickly, I suppose, and Andrew Nemhard, I suppose. Let me see who else. You could... This might be biased, but... Nah, this is a little too biased. Let me wait on Pritchard. He won 6th Man of the Year last year, but I think we're working with these guys that we got on the screen right now. So LaMelo is definitely here. Josh Giddey, I'm not sure. I think Drew Holiday, he's fallen off slightly, but I don't know if he's fallen off enough to drop a tier below here. There's only 2 guys that I got to get rid of here, realistically. So instead of thinking who should be here, let me think who's the odd man out with this row right here. I'm honestly thinking Quickly is. Nemhard turns into a different beast in the playoffs, which is why I'm like, Nemhard's pretty good, yo. Nemhard is pretty good. And Drew Holiday is good when he's like really in that zone, but he has fallen off a little bit. So I'm gonna put Drew Holiday down here, and that's gonna be the start of my 21 to 25 range. We got Jose Alvarado. We got Bob Carrington, which I feel like these people gotta come down. Who else is around the same level as Drew Holiday and Emmanuel Quickly? Okay, I'm gonna take a peek down here so y'all can see who I'm looking at. I think Trey Mann is pretty good. Trey Mann could go right here. I think that Anthony Simons, he can put up some good numbers at the very least. Peyton Pritchard, I think this is around the range that he's at. These other people, CJ McCollum, he's solid, yo. The defense is god awful, but so it's also awful for Anthony Simons. Isaiah Collier, I feel like these people gotta come down here, to be honest. But we're down to the last little bit of the top 30, so I think Fred definitely deserves to be in the top 30. I think that out of everybody else we got here, is there anybody else, like, I feel like it'd be ridiculous for them not to be in the top 30? I want to say no. But I think CJ should still be here. Off Night is pretty good. Isaiah Collier is pretty good. Bub Carrington, it's a little too early for you. Okay. So, deciding for this last row, I'm going to go ahead and say that Dennis Schroeder is pretty good, yeah. I think Dennis Schroeder deserves to be up here, even though it took him a little minute to get a contract. Lonzo Ball, when he was healthy, was really good, but he hasn't played that well yet. It's hard for me to put a rookie that hasn't even played yet in Dylan Harper, obviously. Because looking at a player like Scoot Henderson, he was supposed to be super duper hot shit. And he was some hot shit, you know what I mean? So I don't think that anybody in this honorable mention section is standing out to me that they gotta go up. Tyus Jones and Trey Jones, they're pretty good, they're decent. But in this top row, I think that Jose Alvarado could come down. Isaiah Collier could come down. So I got to decide out of these players who's going to be the one person that I put up. Off night is decent as well. But let's see here. Out of these players that we got here, I might go Malik Monk. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Malik Monk as the last person here for the top 30. All right, let's put this in order. So the top 5 right here that we got right here. Luka or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I feel like putting Shai there is almost some recency bias, but I don't know, bro. He was in the MVP conversation for the last 2 years. Luka's been in the MVP conversation for the last couple of years, really. But I think because of the defense, I'm going to give Shai the edge here. Third place is where it gets tough. Third place is where it really gets tough, in my opinion. Because has Jalen Brunson surpassed Steph Curry? The one issue for Steph really last year was just that he got injured in the playoffs. If he didn't get injured in the playoffs, it would have been a lot more likely that they had a good chance of winning in the second round. So that's really what makes it tough. But Jalen Brunson, when he in that playoffs, he'd be a different beast, okay? He'd be a different beast. Tyrese Halliburton as well, but I don't think Tyrese Halliburton is consistent enough for me to put him above Steph Curry. But I'm going to leave it how I got it right there for now. And then there's Cade Cunningham, who honestly has an argument to move up here. But that might just be, glazing and recency bias a little bit. So let's see here. We got Ja Morant. I don't think he's done enough in the last year, per se. Trae Young, I don't think he's done enough. Well, Trae Young is always consistently good. He's just not always having the best teams around him. But also, I don't know. Kyrie Irving. Honestly, I think that this order that I have right now is pretty good. The question for me right now is between Ja, Kyrie, and De'Aaron Fox. I think I'm going to go... I think this order is fine. The order I have right here is fine, honestly. Now, 11 through 15. James Harden, when he's at his best, he's an offensive threat all around with the ball in his hands, shooting the ball, scoring, going to the rim, getting to the free throw line, getting other players involved. So I feel like that all-aroundness to him is why I'm giving him a little bit of an edge here. Let's see here. Darius Garland, Damian Lillard, or Tyrese Maxey. See, the reason why I'm going to put Tyrese Maxey a little bit lower here than these two is because he had a good portion of the season last year where he was the number one option on the team. I just don't think he really showed so much more than a lot of these other players around him. It's arguable that I could move LaMelo up and move one of Tyrese Maxey and Jamal Murray down, to be honest, because Jamal Murray really only shows out in the playoffs. But when he does show out during the most important time of the season, you know what I'm saying? He's really like that. So it's tough for me to move Jamal Murray down, really, especially because, I'm a Nuggets fan. I'm a Nuggets fan at the end of the day. I know I got the Sixers shirt on today, but let's see here. And I'm a Celtics fan, which is why, we'll see when we get to Pritchard. Which, now that I'm thinking about it, Derek White should be on here and not Anthony Simons. But he's probably on the shooting guard list. Whatever, I'll just get to it then. Let's see here. Especially because, a report came out recently saying that Pritchard's going to be starting at point guard, which pretty much implies that Derek White's going to be starting at shooting guard. Anyway, let's go. All right, I'm going to move LaMelo up, even though he's never freaking healthy, but Jamal Murray has injury issues as well. I'm going to move LaMelo up to number 5 here. I think I'm going to even put him above Tyrese Maxey because he's a better passer for sure. And Maxey's amazing going downhill. His 3-ball really surprised me when he just started draining that thing. But his passing leaves a bit to be desired, in my opinion. So I think I'm okay with how I have this third row. And if you disagree with any of this, let me know in the comments down below as per usual. And when it comes to this next tier, I think Jamal Murray is staying where he's at. But then after him, if DeJounte Murray is healthy, I think he should probably be second here. And Jalen Suggs' defense is elite. So it's tough to compare him and Josh Giddey, really. But I think I'm going to put Giddey above him And then between Nemhard and Jalen Suggs, I think it's a wash. It could go either way, really. Going down to 21 to 25, we got Drew Holiday, quickly, Trey Mann. Is Trey Mann too high right here? Also, he might be too high here, but I think he's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, he's pretty good. Let's see here. The question that a lot of Celtics fans are asking about right now is between Peyton Pritchard and Anthony Simons, who's the better player. Peyton Pritchard's going to be getting the start over Anthony Simons, although Simons has recently put up a lot of points per game and whatnot, 20 plus multiple seasons. So obviously he has the resume to be above Pritchard. Pritchard just won Sixth Man of the Year, and he hasn't really had that opportunity to start. On nights where he does start, he plays like a starting point guard, legit. It could really go either way in this case. Emmanuel Quickly, is he even really better than either of them? I'm going to say yeah. There's a reason why he got that fat contract that he did, even though it's way too big of a contract for Emmanuel Quickly for keeping it a whole 1,000 real quick. But anyway, Drew Holiday, you staying where you at. And moving down, we got CJ, Freddie Van Vliet. I'm going to put Fred first here, even though when that jumper's not falling, it gets pretty spooky. It gets pretty spooky. But I think that he's a little better than CJ currently. And his defense is still pretty good. So Dennis Schroeder or CJ, I'm going to leave CJ there. Malik Monk, I'm going to put above Off Night. And then with the last row, I think we're putting D'Lo in the front. I'm putting you at the bottom because I don't recognize you. These are some role players. I don't think the honorable mentions section I really got to put in order like that. But this is what we got to finish it off. And let me know what you agree with, what you disagree with, who should be higher or lower. Please like the video if you got this far, subscribe, and keep an eye out for the shooting guards list, which should be dropping in a couple days. Thank you.